The Biden administration is continuing to take action in the remaining days in office. Yesterday, the president banned offshore drilling of oil and gas in most federal waters. Mr. Biden's orders will not affect large parts of the Gulf of Mexico, but will protect coastlines along California and Florida, among other states, according to the Associated Press. The AP report indicates the president's order would protect more than 625 million acres of federal waters. President-elect Donald Trump vowed to undo the order, but it may be difficult for him to do so. Now, Ron Ness, president of the North Dakota Petroleum Council, says this action does not come as a surprise. He says the Biden administration has taken more than 200 actions to limit the oil and gas industry. Ness says he believes this is a step in the wrong direction.
As American consumers, we should all be very concerned when they take massive areas just off limits, taking those decisions out of states.
Some environmental groups like Oceana praised the move, citing concerns over greenhouse gas emissions and global warming, according to the AP. Meanwhile, Ness says Biden's action has a long-term impact and credits the increase in oil production over the past few years to the Trump administration and its actions going all the way back to 2016.